Yeah.
if you're not careful, they'll get kind of fuzzy within a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
So I just threw the whole thing into the freezer, and yeah, neglected to cut off the strawberry tops before doing so. But
Oh,
you
that's
know,
cool.
yeah. In the meantime, I was like, why not just throw almost top and all into the blender and
Yeah.
get your green going.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining our highly engaging discussion on strawberries.
Yeah, exactly.
What's,
Welcome,
what's your opinion on strawberries? Join us
welcome
in
to
Q&A.
Smoothie Hangouts.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, we got people in the Q&A already.
Hey guys,
Hey,
are you
The,
guys talking about relevant ed tech?
of
yes,
course.
talking about how we can turn strawberries into robots.
You know,
Students. Looks like Sean and Joanne and Kim are in the Q&A right now.
I think that we're supposed to invite some people in tonight, so let me check our agenda.
Okay, I think people mentioned Joanna Kobayashi.
Yeah, Joanna, hello out there. We'll
Can
send
you
out the
invite her
invite
in?
just a second here.
Cool.
And we're gonna invite you in so that you can join in and share with us. In fact, you can invite in whoever's in the Q&A. Maybe they all want to join us.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, I'm on it.
No pressure, but
I usually like to thank our sponsors before, going through the whole intro, but
Sorry.
Okay.
Is both Kim and Joanna coming in?
They are now.
Okay.
You don't have a choice.
Are those the only two, Kimball? Do you know?
I think so.
Okay, let me check our doc.
But guilty by association, we might have to lasso Sean back in. Okay.
So I finally got to join EdChat High for the first time.
Yeah, woohoo! Where were you at, Kimball? Making your smoothie.
I was dreaming about my smoothie. I was having my after school nap.
No excuse.
Yeah. Hey, Kim, big favor. Can you give us your Gmail out there? Your name's not coming up. There are a couple other Kim Williamsons are, but unfortunately, they are not you. And as soon as you do, I will send out the invite. And Sean. Okay, we got a couple of viewers out there too. Awesome.
Hello, viewers.
Okay, Kim's not able to do video right now.
Fine, you can come in and do just audio.
Joanna, the only thing you really should be doing is either sending us cookies or cash right now.
Or both.
To Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Hello.
No. Okay, so Joanna, your Google notification should be on, notifying you of the Evite.
Audio.
Yeah. Should be able to jump in. And if you have any questions, just throw it in the Q&A, and I'm going to add Kim now that I have his address. No.
Hey, that YouTube link you posted in the chat, Kimball, is private. Can't see it right now.
Oh, okay, good. All
So
right.
it's private.
No,
Oh, good. Ah, shucks.
no. Sorry, I'll update that. All right, good to know. Thank you.
Kimball finished his, was it your GTA
My
YouTube video?
GTA application video.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you post it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, those of you who are um, interested in applying, make sure to start working on your applications.
Yeah. When's it due, Kimball? May 14th, you said?
May the 14th,
May
which
the
is
14th.
next Wednesday.
For both GTAs. The first one is in Atlanta before ISTE, and the second one is in Mountain View in July. Yeah. And they only pick how many people per academy? 50?
Yeah, about 50. Sometimes they go to maybe 60
Okay.
in the 60s, but
Cool.
50 is the target.
To get working
Kim,
on
I
the
just
video.
sent out the email for you, buddy, so be on the lookout for that.
Did you see Kim's address there?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, referring to.
All right.
All right, and my video is now unlisted.
Woohoo! Everybody go watch. Give them some thumbs up, some likes.
If you need some, you can't sleep at night, and you surpassed late.
Hey, Mike, are you gonna throw your name in for one of those?
Yeah, I'm aiming for Mountain View,
Oh, cool.
July. Yeah.
That Mountain View is awesome.
Yeah. Cross my fingers.
And one more thing, Kim. Hopefully, your school domain has enabled Hangouts.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you get Joanna's email and to get her in?
Yeah. Well, I got her name off of the auto population thing. So.
Okay, I can try to put her in because I see her on the sign up form. Am I able to invite people or only the moderator?
I think only the moderator.
Oh, okay, Kimball, you gotta do it then.
All right.
I'll put it in the chat.
Just for Joanna. Okay.
Here, I put her thing in the chat.
Is it the Joanna B one? Okay.
Yes, at Gmail.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let me also send Kim's personal one too.
So, Sean, do you know about the Google Teacher Academies?
Yes.
So they don't open them very often. So it's like if you're interested, it's like one of those things where you have to jump on when you see it. There's a written application and a video.
Right. Is that the one that you needed a trainer or something? Like
No, the trainer one is the one you take tests, and then you still have to apply and make a video for that one as well. But the trainer one you can do without, like you can just take the test and apply for. The Google Teacher Academy is the one where you physically go to a Google headquarters and get a 2-day training, and then you become a Google certified teacher.
okay.
And I saw that the one in the Philippines at the end of the summer is
Yeah, there's some global ones.
it's going to be in English too. There's like one in Mexico. There's one in like Sweden.
Yeah, they have an equal amount U.S. and then overseas, around the world.
Whoa. Excuse
Who's
me.
that?
It's
It's a
Are you hanging
condition.
out in your car?
That's kind of embarrassing.
If you guys look up the Google Teacher Academy application playlist,
Oh,
you
in
can
YouTube,
buy it.
is there actually a playlist of
There's
yeah?
like some that I don't know if they. Let me see. I'm trying to find the ones that you can buy. Oh, here. This is a great one. So, if you look it up, yeah, this is a good one to do because this is actually. I don't know if this is the official site, but here, I'll post it in the chat. Can our audience see the chat? Or only we can see the chat?
No, only we can. You can post it in the event or in the.
In the Q&A?
Well, you know, maybe post it in the community.
Oh, in the community.
Yeah, you can do that.
So I just posted in the
these
chat for Mike and Sean and Kimball that if you go to this youtube.com/user gteachersacademy/playlist, there's a bunch of playlists that are from previous Google Teacher Academies.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's a good way to see like different people's videos and the variety, creativity that there was.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, we just got someone. Joanna, can you hear us? Hi, welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Woohoo.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the official site, but here, I'll post it in the chat. Can our audience see the chat? Oh, you have to turn off your other window.
Only we can.
Close your window.
Post it in the event or in the.
In the Q&A?
Well, you know, maybe post it in the community.
Oh, in the community.
Yeah, you can do that.
So I just posted in the chat for Mike and Sean and Kimball that if you go to
down
this
the video, Joanna.
youtube.com/user gteachersacademy/playlist. There's a bunch of playlists that
What's on
are
the
from
Hangout video, Joanna?
Academy.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's a good way to see like different people's videos and the variety, creativity that there was.
Yeah. Can you hear us, Joanna?
I can.
Can you close down the Hangout video that's playing?
Joanna, can you hear us?
Wait, I'm sorry, Michael, I didn't hear what you said. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you close down the Hangout video that's playing on your screen right now? Can you pause it?
Here, I'll post it in the chat. Can our audience see the chat?
Does that
You have
work?
to turn off your other window.
Only we can.
Close your window.
You gotta pause the video. The event or in the.
In the Q&A?
Well, you know, maybe post it in the community. Can you pause it? There you go. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool.
I had
Cause
like 3 of them going on.
Yeah, that's right. Cause you're in the Hangout, so you don't have to watch us.
Oh, okay, got it.
The video
Yeah,
too.
and the Hangout has a little bit of a delay.
Okay.
You are live.
Okay.
Well, welcome.
Thank
We're
you.
glad you could join us tonight.
Good. I'm glad too.
So you want to start by introducing yourself and what school you're at and what you do?
Okay, so I work at Moanalua High School. I teach 9th grade basic physics in a core team, so kind of like a SLC. I have 96 students, and we don't have a one-to-one, but I do have 10 laptops that are in my classroom, and then I have access to a laptop cart and an iPad cart just recently. So yeah, that's me. And then since the summit, I started all of the kids on the Gmail accounts because their school just just joined, or just became a GEG school. So not everybody, but just a couple classes.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, it's been going good.
It's promising to hear. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are big numbers too. 96.
Yeah, 96
students.
kids. And then I think I have about 20, average 25 in one class. And the only times I've done like a whole class GAFE thing with them we've been doing it quite often. So I've transitioned to a no paper classroom since we started since the summit. So that's been going good, but there's a couple things I wish I knew that would have made things easier. But I'm in beta, so no big deal. Hopefully next year it'll get better. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not, like, what else are we supposed to be doing right now? I'm not sure.
I think you're just supposed to share some examples of what you've done or an example of what you've done. You can actually share your screen if you want to share the actual, like an actual project, and if you don't want to share your screen, you can just tell us specifically what you did.
Okay, wait here. I created a Google presentation thing, so can I just do that?
Yes.
Cool.
So you can actually go if you click on the left-hand side, there's a screen share option.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can choose the screen that has your presentation and just share it with us.
Okay, got it.
So you'll be looking at your screen instead of at your video, and then when you want to stop sharing, you just click on the same sharing button again.
Okay.
Hey, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Glad you got on.
But I got it all figured out.
Okay, wait, hold on. I had it asking me which screen to share, but it's not doing it now. Is it just the little green button with the arrow?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, for some reason, I keep clicking it, but nothing's happening.
Sometimes it takes a minute or a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, is there a way to see all of the windows running on your desktop? Because if you click it once, it should kind of give you a smaller window where you can pick to choose.
Yeah, it had that like a minute ago, but then it went away.
Okay. You can try it again.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Hold on one sec. Okay. Is it doing anything?
Perfect.
Yeah, you can see your presentation.
Oh, okay, good.
Cool.
So should I just go through the whole thing then?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's great.
Okay. All right. So I already told you guys sort of that thing before I went to the Iolani Summit. My core team had already used Google Sites and Google Forms to just get student survey information and parent survey information, kind of like the inventory you would do at the beginning of the school year.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was really helpful. And so when we came back from school, I kind of presented them with this thing called their GAFE Day, because it was like their Google Apps birthday, because they had never had a Gmail account through our school yet. So we kind of talked a little bit about how awesome that was, and I kind of prepped them by saying it was going to be really hard at the beginning just to get used to it, because we never really did one-to-one with them or had any kind of always on the computer kind of a lesson. So they bought into it because I started them off with that Google Docs where everyone just kind of typed wherever they wanted to, kind of like what Wendy Gorton did that first day. So after that, and after they got used to sort of all the kinks to it, I felt more comfortable giving them like assignments and projects. And so I've used it for this sustainability unit project that we did. they were in groups. They had to come up with a research proposal that each student in the group had to contribute to, and then they also had a presentation. So they used both the Google Docs and then the Google presentation for that. I've started using it for formative assessments, and then their big summative assessment for the quarter, it's due at the end of May, is this lab report, which they've been working on too. And then the thing I wanted to share was I've been using it a lot for evaluations of the group projects that they have to do, because in the past I've always had them self and group assess, and I've had it on little sheets of paper where they like grade each other, and then I had to physically like manually enter that into a spreadsheet and calculate average and all that kind of stuff. So it was super time consuming, but with the forms it made it a lot easier. Let me see. So then I kind of had them do this, like at our school, not too many, like I'm probably one of the maybe 3 or 4 teachers that have been using the GAFE emails for the students. And so they really had, like my tech coordinator, I asked her what I should do and she had nothing for me. So I had to like find the letter to parents, and then I had to just sort of make everything up as we went along. So all of that stuff I shared with all of my students, and so that has seemed to be working okay. And then the big project that they were doing just recently was just this research proposal, and they turned that in a couple weeks ago. And so it's been going good because I had them comment back and forth and send it to me. Yeah. Let me see. So the picture you see now is the stuff that, as far as the self-assessments, they really have worked for me, and like anonymously self-assess and group assess, because I had specific questions that I wanted them to ask, and then I just took all this information and I coded it, and then now it's just easier to, you know, give out grades for group tasks. And just the stuff that's already on the screen, I like it because they can work together. I teach in a core team, so it's interdisciplinary. So all of the stuff that we do group project-wise lends itself well to like Google Apps. And then for me, like data analysis is key because then I can kind of see everything in real time. And so I guess I had a few things for areas for improvement. Like our admin hasn't determined common practices, so I don't know if all the stuff that I'm doing now is going to be the same for next year. I tried G-class folders and I didn't like it, and so I individually made folders, and that was a big mistake because then I had kids typing on my template and just little things that I wish I knew beforehand, and I wish I had more people working at my school that were doing it that could have helped me out, because then that would have been easy fixes. And then the last thing was I tried using Google Forms for a formative assessment, and then it dawned on me that they could have used the computer to find answers, and that freaked me out a little bit, so then I, you know, didn't do that anymore. But I figured that out, and hopefully it'll work better next time. Yeah. Sorry, that was a lot of talking, but I guess yeah.
So can I ask a question? Like, you mentioned how you didn't like the G-class folders. What didn't you like about it?
I think I didn't like the fact that there were so many other folders. Like there was that shared folder, and then there was some other folder, right?
Yeah. So what we've done with our teachers is we've just canceled out. I mean, they quit out of the deleted the folders that we didn't need. Since you're the owner of the folders, you can actually delete the ones you don't need.
Okay. Because, see, I tried it, and then I saw that, and I was like, oh, my God, I don't want all these folders. And then it was already too late by the time I had started the individual folders, that the kids were so used to making a copy of my document that I shared with them and renaming it that I didn't want to, like, start them off on something new again. So I have a couple more weeks before school is over, so hopefully I can get back onto that, because it would make it so much easier to see all of their documents. Because even now, I assign something, and all the kids, some of the kids who weren't paying attention to the instructions have already like edited on my template, which is irritating, because then I have to go back to the revision from the very beginning.
Yeah, so if you utilize like Doctopus with the
Yeah.
G-class folders, it will make it so much easier.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to add. I've really started using Doctopus to take care of a lot of that, and I learned about Doctopus through this last conference, and that was a big moment for sharing for me, that getting the documents out and where I'm the owner and then they get to make the copy into their own folder. That saved a ton of time, and that's actually part of what I'm here to share as well. So that was what I wanted to bring into it. But yeah, I like how your sites are coming together. So
Yeah. Yeah, so slowly, I think I'm figuring it out.
lifelong learners, right?
Hey, Joanna, where'd you get the nice template for your presentation?
Oh, I got it. I think it's a Microsoft Word thing. Somebody, or like a Microsoft one, because somebody sent it to me, and I was like, "Ooh, that's nice," and then I just copied it.
Okay, cool.
But I don't know how to get it back. I don't know where it came from.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna say my presentation stuff isn't nearly as fancy. I just wanted to share what I have.
You don't have nice green hills in your presentation?
No, I just have Windows open. So.
Well, you can go ahead, Kim, and share with us what you did.
All right, so let's see if it works. So I'm turning on my screen share. Let's see.
Oh, and Kim, could you start by just introducing yourself, like what school you're at, and?
Sure. My name is Kim Williamson, and I am at Ka'u High School on the Big Island. I am an English teacher. I teach, I teach a lot of things, but English is my primary area. So, do you see?
Yes, we do.
Okay, my GAFE portfolio is open there. So what I was doing for this, I'm kind of where Joanne was, where I had been using the Google suite of programs and apps for a little while, but I didn't get it in. I hadn't gone in very deeply yet. So I was really good with documents. My students have been sharing with me and flooding my email box every single time that we do a paper. So, anytime I'd have 100+ emails that I'd have to sort through, which was kind of a pain. And then I also I started using sites this year, so I started bringing in for my senior project kids. They started building their own sites, and they turned out really well, and I was really proud of them. But then when I went to the summit, people started talking about forms and Doctopus and how those worked, and I was like, okay, I got to try this form thing out. And so my first steps into forms were, these little quizzes that I could do. My kids are really heavily in ELL land, and they also struggle with parts of speech and what these things do in their sentences. So I had to take a couple steps down the ladder of difficulty and just start reviewing, like, hey, a noun is this, a pronoun does this, and they were not. Like, these are things they really couldn't look up very easily. They could, and I would walk around the class as they were doing these and kind of keep an eye on them as they were going through. So you can see these little, what's the part of speech? Is this a noun, pronoun, or adjective? And for my ELL students especially, these first three were really difficult. It's the same word, and so they would look at this and they were like, wait, what? And so we had to ask ourselves, what is it doing in the sentence, that sort of thing. So these were my preliminary kind of steps in. And again, you can see through the form, you can see all the different answers that I get. And what I do is across the top, I obviously freeze the row, and then I just put the answer so that I can scroll through and do a really fast grade, which is very simple. The other thing that I've started doing, oh, oops, I got to get into my Dropbox.
Kim, have you tried on Flubaroo for easy grading of your quizzes?
Yeah, I have actually, and it does work well for some things. I haven't been able to get it to work seamlessly with the Google Docs or with the forms. So that's been something that I got to continue to work on. But sorry, this is a little unorganized at the moment. Go here.
So just to add to that, I use Jupyter Grades, and they started this thing called Juno, which is an online grading quiz thing, and it automatically transfers all of the kids' grades onto my grade book. And so I don't know if Google is thinking about like partnering with one of those grading systems, because that's what makes the forms for me a little bit harder, is because I have to like physically enter grades twice.
Well, and see what I have an online grading website that's at teacherease.com that it's a pay-for site, and it's a little expensive, but it's been a lifesaver for me for communication with parents. Right. And so I will split screens, and so when I'm at home I have a large enough computer where I'll have 2 screens fully open so that I can enter the grades while I'm going through. But yes, I would love an integrated grade book so that when I went through, it would go right in. So what this is I wanted to try and make a mock-up of the editing that the students are going to have to do on the end of course exam for expository writing 1. So the way it looks in the test environment is that the mistake, or the area where the mistake exists, is highlighted. And the student then clicks on the highlight and a little text box opens and you type in the correct response. Well, there was obviously no way I could there was no way I could figure out at the moment how to do that. I'm still kind of toying around with some things. But I could do the highlighting, and then I could have them go in and practice. And I tell the kids, obviously, the misspelled words, you could right-click on it and figure it out. I want you to try, without resorting to that, to spell these words correctly. And so the kids all get a kind of a laugh out of it, but it's a nice little accommodation for some of my lower IEP kids that are in the class, that they can have some success. They can say, okay, I know that this is spelled wrong. I'm going to try this out. If it doesn't work, they can cheat and they can do the little right click on it. And so I'm building a little bit more confidence. And so with this one, I was looking at mostly punctuation errors and, of course, the spelling errors in here. So they're where to use the commas, when to separate an adjectival phrase from the rest of the sentence, or when to, that sort of thing. And so we've been practicing. This is one of many of them that I've put together over the last couple of weeks, because our end-of-course exam is on May 16th. And so that's it's 1/3 of their test grade is being able to recognize these simple grammar errors. So my whole GAFE Summit PD E3 kind of thing is all on the language standards. So all of the assignments I've shared have been basically the grammar stuff that I've been able to, in the few short weeks since the summit, been able to put together. And one of the things that I still have left to share in there is the progress my kids have made in just this since spring break. So 6 weeks, they've already made huge gains, and I'm pretty excited about the fact that it's basically because of forms.
Do your kids have like a one-to-one access?
I wrote a grant 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I accidentally hit the rubric there. 2 or 3 years ago, where I got 30 laptops from my classroom.
Wow.
Those 30 laptops have been put through the ringer. We're down to the final 24. And I've got to try and find some money now to start doing some replacements. We will, as a school next year, we will have 350 iPads on campus. People did not, unfortunately, they didn't they didn't really think about how that was going to work with everything. So if they would have asked the computer tech guy and a few of us, we would have said, hey, maybe high school students should go to a laptops, and the elementary kids use the iPads, because the iPads are great for consuming product, but not necessarily for producing. I think somebody had posted that in one of the community forums, and I agree. I love iPads, but I don't like trying to produce with them, and I think that we're going to find that out very soon.
Yeah.
What kind of computers do you guys have?
We got an HP, and I can't think of the version, but this was, we also didn't opt for Chromebooks at that point. We just went with a fully loaded system as much as we could get. So we had Microsoft installed and everything. But now, between the tech coordinator and myself, we're going, okay, we can replace all these computers for a lot less money, and we'll just turn everything over to Google. So next year, we're trying to put together a PD program for next year to take Google apps school-wide as much as possible.
So I have a couple of things to share with you. So one is I don't know if you met Mary Beth.
Yes.
So I got to observe her class, and she teaches English as well. So as you were sharing your assignment there for your kids, I just thought about like what she was doing with her students, and she actually had them use Google Drawing. So I don't know how much you've actually tried Google Drawing, but what she did is she set up Google drawings and the kids, because it's a drawing tool, they can annotate over and cross out and highlight and like mark it up. And
Right.
it was fascinating to see her kids like take a quiz that way using the drawing tool.
And what I was going to do for right next week, as we're getting ready for the exam, I wanted to practice annotation on the screen. And so I was going to use drawing, and so that they could underline and highlight, but also be able to take notes on the screen as well. So that's my ultimate goal, is that we will go paperless next year. That won't, maybe one or two things per week that we'll have on paper, but most of it will be all online.
Yeah, and her kids were 6th graders, and they were very proficient at using the tools in drawing and even the shapes. And like if they had to like say circle a certain, I don't really know what exactly the test was about, but say like if you had them circle the nouns, or like her kids were totally just like using the shapes and using the tools and marking it all up, and that was their quiz. So that was really good. And then the second thing I was going to mention, I just lost the thought. It'll come back to me.
It will.
Kim, Kim, do you know how the iPads are going to be deployed? Or are you going to get a certain percentage?
No, they were originally intended for grades 3 through 10, and which is funny because now the new testing grade with the SBAC assessment is going to be 11th grade, which is my area. So of course, but they kind of figured I already had laptops and I was in pretty good shape with them. Yeah. iPads are being deployed in per classroom, so we've got carts for them, and they're going to go basically where the biggest needs are. So we're going to look at the grade levels that are heavily tested, but also we're going to be looking at where the accommodations and modifications will need to be made. So any kind of classes where there's a lab class, or if there's a support class, they will definitely have iPads. We've already purchased some programs that will go with iPads, and we have licenses for it, but I'm excited because that's more computers on campus. There's more access. That's always good. But at the same time, I worry about the production. Like, we'll be able to make videos, we'll be able to do some of that, but the writing side is going to be more difficult, I think.
Yeah. Can you use presentations on the iPad? Because we tried doing it on the iPad and it wouldn't let me. It doesn't let you do anything, right? You can't edit.
You can go through the Chrome browser and go to the full. What is that called?
Like
full
your
access.
yeah,
Like that,
yeah.
full,
So
the
you
full
can go.
website.
Yeah, so you can use the Chrome browser on the iPad and go to and log into Google that way, and then you can go to the full the website view, and then you can access some of it, but it's not like the regular.
Yeah. Because on the drive on the iPad, you can only do like documents, right?
Docs and
Spreadsheets.
spreadsheets.
And
Yeah.
And even that is a little limiting.
oh,
But that just got divided into two separate apps with Google promising that Slides is coming soon. And I
oh,
would assume that a standalone Slides app would allow you to edit it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm
I don't know
assuming
why
that.
they would release a Slides app and just let you view it. So
I'm also hopeful that because they put the docs and spreadsheets, uh, on a separate app, that means they're also going to perhaps bring more features to those
Yeah.
functionality. Because right now it's very limiting.
yeah. Like you can't like because we wanted to do I wanted to do a lab report and I wanted them to put a data table. No, sorry, a
Yeah, you
graph.
can't do tables.
yeah.
Yeah, like you have to have like imported first, right? You cannot just do it like you do in Word.
You
Insert.
can't even view, even if you do it on the computer, you can't view it
Can't view
on the
it.
iPad.
Oh, I see.
Your little triangle.
The other,
But-
other thing that really frustrated me, a couple of my seniors, we were trying to put together PowerPoints that were going to mount to my school website that I'm creating, and so they were using presentation. They're putting it together, and they were like, "Oh, we want to record some narration to it," but presentation doesn't do narration, so you can't do like PowerPoint. You can do a little narration, and it saves, relatively small. But their solution was to cover the video camera and make a video file, and then it just was audio. So they just put it in there so that you could hear their voices, but you couldn't see them. So.
Well, it's super fortunate that we have both of you as high school teachers here. And Joanna, I wanted to ask you two questions. You brought up that this is GAVE helped facilitate your efforts towards going paperless, and Kim, you mentioned that too, that's one of your goals. Are there any strategies that kind of, and I would imagine that's probably all of our goals too, including Sean and all of us. Are there any steps that you took that helped you kind of make that transition, or are there any lessons learned that you would recommend to others in kind of going paperless?
I went cold turkey. After the summit, I was like, you know what? You're not turning in any more papers to me. I lose them anyway. You don't know where, you always wait for me to grade them, so we're just doing it. And they're 9th grade, and so they were fine about just going with the flow. I'm going to teach 11th grade next year. I don't know if I can pull that with them, but I just kind of said, that's it. I'm done.
Right.
That was me. I cold turkeyed it. I just threw them in the deep end, and we went with it. So, and I still have kids every day that are like, "Hey, can we just do this on paper? It's so much. I can do it so much faster." And those are kids that tend to be less technologically centered. So, they don't really use their phone, or they don't have phones that do everything, and so. That's also something a lot of our families, they don't have all the internet and that sort of thing. So those families tend to be, can we do it on paper? While my kids who do have full access, they're so excited. I just have a whole bunch of boys going to state volleyball this week, and I said, I'll be posting all of the work online so you can keep up. And they were like, wait, what? We don't get a day off? And I'm like, no, we only got 3 weeks of school left. We got to keep moving. So.
Yeah.
Sean, do you have any of your teachers wanting to go paperless too?
They do want to go paperless, but I think they kind of need to see examples first. So working documents, kind of showing them what you can do with the forms.
That'd be a really good discussion topic for our GEG community.
Yeah.
And
Oh, sorry, Kimball. I'd like to know more tricks about with Doctopus, because there's so many things that I know it can do, but I think I'm barely scratching the surface with it. And I know how to make the folders, I can distribute the assignments, but I still have difficulties with phantom folders showing up in random places, and I just want more training with it.
Mm-hmm.
We could definitely pull in some resources for that. Maybe make a Doctopus-centered, session.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good idea.
And lastly, from my point, another thing you brought up that was kind of cool, Joanna, is that GAFE kind of helped facilitated some collaboration amongst your interdisciplinary team.
Right.
And which I think is a lot more viable at the high school end, and maybe a little less so, but I certainly think it's possible at the K through 6 level.
Yeah, for sure. We share my 4 core teachers, we share everything. Like when kids come in for tutorial, it's on the sheet. We write down when they leave so that, if they are like, oh, I went to see Miss Kobayashi today, and if it's not on my side, then we know that they didn't show up. And then like the student information survey at the beginning of the school year was so valuable, because then they feel more comfortable sometimes, especially at the beginning, just typing out certain answers to questions, And so we can just look back and be like, oh, okay, she has an allergy to this, or, she lives with only her mom. Then that way, we're not having to talk to like 4 different people, and she doesn't have to explain it 4 different times. So for us, it's been like the sheets and the forms have been working really well for collaboration with my team. And then even with the kids too. Yeah.
Has that changed the dynamics of like your meeting times? Like you're more streamlined now, and you can just kind of hit the ground running?
Yep, definitely. But my team, I'm the only one that went to the summit, and we have a Google site that we've used for a couple years, and we have 2 new teachers in the team this year, so it's taking them a little bit to kind of get used to everything being online, and the conversation is always, oh, I sent it to you, it's in your drive, and I kind of have to teach, or we kind of have to teach each other how to use the drive. So as I introduced it to the kids, I was also introducing it to other teachers that I work with, which is kind of sad, but I guess good that we're all learning how to use it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Question. I know that you were saying that a lot of them have trouble with you're getting sent the drive file, but they didn't necessarily open it. Like, do you guys use the email notifications?
That's a question I had. When someone shares something with me, do I have to actually click on the notifications to see it, or doesn't it automatically go to my shared file?
It goes to your shared.
It automatically
Automatically.
And it depends on the setting that you have set up too, that if the notifications are going to go off or an email is going to go through.
Oh, okay. So if I get a notification saying that somebody shared something with me, I can delete it, right? Because it's already shared.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
It's just notifying you that it's there.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Kim, so I remembered what I was going to share with you. I don't know if you've ever thought about, like, using something like Donors Choose to make money for...
Yeah. I spend a lot of time at Starbucks on Saturdays just doing grading and that sort of thing. And when you get into their, you get on the Wi-Fi, it has the little thing about Donors Choose, or there's a couple of them. And I was thinking about trying to set something up like that, where just look at.
There's even a local one too. I forget what it. Do you guys know what the local one's called?
I don't know what the local one's
I
called.
think it's sponsored by Star Advertiser.
Donors Choose is specifically, I think, for public school teachers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, I think like you have to be a public school teacher to go on there. But last year, in 2000, or I guess it was 2 years ago, Google like actually made Chromebooks like $99 through Donors Choose.
And see, that's awesome, and that's exactly, we want to do the Chromebook route where we've been looking at a couple different models. We've been looking at Toshiba's models. We don't like their power cords very well, but we're looking at a couple other things that we could do. And when we were at the summit, we were kind of hovering around the table with all the different Chromebooks, kind of looking at the different ones and which ones are going to fit the best for our school. And you know, if we can go on Donors Choose and get a whole bunch of them for a lot of different teachers, that would be awesome. And I know, especially, right now we have a very young staff, actually, and I have a lot of the younger folks, and I hate to say that because now I'm one of the older folks, but the younger folks are like really gung-ho for Drive, and they're whipping things back and forth through Drive, and some of us older or the more experienced teachers, how's that? We have to kind of keep up with those whippersnappers.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, the local one is supportmyclass.org.
Awesome.
That's the local version of Donors Choose. By Star Advertiser, I think like Logs participates, and City Mill, and all those local businesses.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's the same concept.
Cool, I
You put your
never
wish
knew
list up
that
there.
that was there. Like,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys got to join us tonight and sharing the good stuff that's happening in your classrooms. And
Definitely.
Yeah, my pleasure. You know, like Joanne said, it's part of our grade too.
It's a triple win. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you guys. It was good to hear what everybody else was doing, and now that I've talked with you, now I can like super feel comfortable asking you questions just online, right? I can just.
Yeah.
And you can join us on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 anytime, or just through the GEG community.
Okay.
Interact with us that way.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing up topics that you wanted to learn about. You know.
You were mentioning your video for your application. I've been trying to put one together as well. So, did you post it on YouTube?
I did, yeah, and I just unlocked it. So, yeah.
I will see what the competition is.
Oh no, yeah, you're gonna blow me out of the water, dude.
Oh, come on! No, you've got the tech expertise. So I've been kind of picking my students' brains about it, what they would want to see in a video about us at school. So.
Hey Kim, do you know Janine Balsis?
Yes.
Oh my God! Tell her Joanna says hi. She used to be on my core team last year, and then you stole her from me.
I know. Oh, we've had a fun 2 weeks. She's our testing coordinator now, and it's been nightmarish getting all these kids online and on time. Oh, it's been fun. But she's also helping me with graduation. So yes, we're happy she's with us.
Yay! Small world.
Oh. Well, thanks everyone, and hopefully we'll see you guys again, and if not, at least through the GEG community. We appreciate you guys coming. And Sean, thanks for joining us again. You're always welcome to hang out with us.
Yeah, please, always.
Okay, cool.
All right, good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right.
Thanks for watching.